What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome to Not Your Status Quo. Today, we are at the theater for our spoiler-free review of Eternals. What are your guys' hype level?
Well, I'm pretty excited. Like I've been trying to, every preview I see makes me more excited for this movie, but I'm trying to temper it so that I'm not too excited and don't expect too much. So that when I get in there, if it's not an excellent movie, it's just a good movie, then I'll still be happy.
Yeah, so I'm also trying to keep my excitement a little bit tempered because, well, first off, I don't know as much about the Eternals as these guys do, so there's that. But also, I don't want to go into the movie thinking that it's going to be like super friggin' amazing and then only to be let down. Like, I don't want that to happen. So, as excited as I am for a huge Marvel blockbuster, which you guys know how much I love MCU movies. I don't want to go in, end up getting disappointed, and then walk out of the theater like I shouldn't have got my hopes up, you know? So I'm kind of like at a mid-level. I'm really clamping it down, trying not to be too excited. But see, I'm still looking forward to it.
I wish I was more like you. I think you guys know, it's like Christmas morning whenever an MCU movie's coming out for me. I can't sleep. I'm like 5 waking up opening presents. I couldn't, work dragged all day today waiting to get out here. So I can't do it, so I'm pretty fired up. So I hope, that doesn't, but I'm usually more positive, about things I see. So, definitely looking forward to it. I think we should go grab some Sprites and head in. What do you guys think?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Don't they know it's the end of the world?
Fellow nerds, we are back. We just got out of the theater watching Eternals, and you know what? It was good. I kind of wish that I had been like you and I went in like fully excited because it was pretty good. It was a good movie, but it is not like your average MCU movie. Keith, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, the structuring of this movie was vastly different from anything I think we've seen in the MCU before. And for me, at first I was a little thrown off by it, but you get used to it pretty quickly, and then you understand why they do it. I think it helps with the storytelling for this. And really does a great job.
Well, we do have thousands of years that they have to get through, so yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I mean, every story has a flashback nowadays. And so I think they used them effectively, where there's parts where, it's a little slower, but it really doesn't seem to drag, And it's good for the character development. It just shows the background and why these characters act the way they do.
They did a good job of you getting to know every character. Each character has its own personality, and that plays out throughout the whole movie as things happen and they change a little bit, but they're always sort of that same person. Did a great job.
Yeah. And like what we were saying earlier, the most of the jokes landed. Angelina Jolie seemed like she was in it less than I thought she would be. She had a few funny lines, but she wasn't a comedian by any stretch. Kit Harington thought he would be in it a little bit more, but I guess there's more coming for him. And let's talk about the after credit scenes.
Well, let's before we do all that, let's talk about the cinematography for a minute, because the director is an Academy Award winning director, and she is known for these sort of natural light, getting at dusk, filming at dusk, and all these things she does. And man, the cinematography was just stunning.
Lots of sweeping landscapes. It's, if you see it on a big screen, if you got a 90-inch TV at home.
Yeah.
I mean, it's breathtaking.
A lot of natural lighting. There was this one scene at the very end of the movie that I was like, not great for that actor. They didn't catch it like his best side, but it looked really good.
And the action scenes were very well done in this also. I was, you always get a little worried with one of these directors who is not known for action movies, but they all worked out very well, and I thought the whole story and how it ended up and the twists and turns, a lot of surprises for me in this movie that I did not expect, and that always makes me feel good. I've read a lot of the Eternals comics, and I thought I knew what was coming, and I had no idea, so that was good.
Yeah. I obviously, as I mentioned before we went in, I was kind of in the same boat where I didn't have as much knowledge about the Eternals. So yeah, this is all like I really didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what was going to be coming. I don't know that much about the Eternals or the Deviants. The only knowledge that I have of the Celestials is just what we've seen in other MCU movies, where we've got a floating head and maybe Ego is one, and that's about it. So yeah, it was definitely like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? And it was a long movie, but it didn't feel long to me. There was always something happening, whether they were, giving us a little bit more information about these characters, a little bit more about the world that they're setting up, and there's a lot to set up. In fact, in the very beginning, this is just a little bit of a spoiler, but it's not that big of a deal. They do a text crawl, which at first had me worried. I will say that. But, so I kind of went through a couple of phases where I was like, uh-oh, text crawl. I hope this isn't, too much, because I'm thinking there's a lot of lore here. There's a lot of setup, but it kept you engaged in the movie.
It definitely did. And after the movie, we do get 2 post-credit scenes, which, if you're familiar with our channel, you know what's next. And we have a lot to talk about with both of the mid-credit scene and the post-credit scene, because that's going to lead down the road further in Phase 4 what's going to happen. So definitely, if you're watching this and you're not subscribe, ring the bell, so not only are you notified of when our What's Next videos, but we just gave away a copy of Jack Kirby's The Eternals today, and we got other ones coming up.
Yeah, we got Ghostbusters coming up. That contest starts next week, and then we'll announce the winner the following week, and then we'll go to the At the Theater review on the 18th.
Oh, looking forward to that one. So, what do you guys think? Should everybody go see Ancient Aliens, the movie?
Everyone should go see this movie in the theater. I mean,
All right.
This has gotten a kind of low Rotten Tomato score, but it certainly doesn't deserve it.
It's a standalone. I think if it, they barely mention the other characters in the
Oh, yeah.
MCU. I think it could stand on its own, even if it wasn't in the MCU. I think it's that good of a story. Who knows down the road, but it's not like Guardians of the Galaxy. It's its own thing. Guardians of the Galaxy, to me, came out and it was kind of its own thing. So it's not the similar storytelling, but they both, I think, could stand on their own.
But if you've seen it, let us know what you think. You can add us at Twitter or leave a comment down below, and we will see you next time on Not Your Status Quo.